Have you had any cause to deal with difficult people at one point in your life or the other? How were you able to handle it? How were you able to navigate your way through it and come out of it well? So today we're looking at managing difficult people, difficult co-workers at work. Difficult co-workers at work. How do you deal with them? How do you avoid them? How do you come out of it at the end of the day? Today is Monday, and every Monday we talk about work. So today we're talking about managing co-workers, difficult co-workers. So my name is Jemima Emmanuel, and this is today's live on Aqua Television International. I hope you had a great weekend. I am not doing this alone. I have with me on the set today Prudence Burga. Good morning.
Good morning.
Joyce Jakada, good morning.
Morning, Jemima.
Solomon Salvo, good morning.
Good morning,
Did you hear how she answered?
Yeah.
Good morning. If I talk now. Anyways. Prudence, you look good.
Starting with Monday.
Please don't constitute
No,
a
I
difficult
won't.
co-worker
No,
for her.
no.
Make it
no.
easy.
If I become difficult, then how different am I from her?
Do you understand?
I didn't see that card.
Did you see the shock?
You didn't even finish it like this.
Okay, I rest my case.
Yeah, so how was your weekend?
It was awesome. It was beautiful.
Joyce,
Even though there were a lot of intimidation left, right, and center, Valentine was. But
yeah, that's true. It was
we
Friday,
saw.
right?
In fact, at some points, I was like.
Sunday?
I said it was Friday, right?
Yeah,
On Friday, yes.
Friday.
In fact, at some point, I had to is it that I should just log out of Facebook entirely or what? I thought it was matching pajamas December. We're done without waiting for another December. But this red was everywhere. But man, it's beautiful to see people celebrate love and appreciate love. And like we said, especially getting it or doing it the right way. I mean, agape love is the highest form of love, and then when you see people love sincerely, honestly, not just because they want to dance to the gallery or because they want to show up, but because they want to really appreciate their love. I hear some people make excuses like, oh, it does love is it continual or be something you do every day. It does not have to be with Valentine's Day and all. Valentine's Day is also a day, so why not appreciate? So any opportunity you have to appreciate the people in your lives, like regardless. I saw some people make a lot of packages for their mothers, their fathers, their siblings, and it was really beautiful. So thank God, it was really a long weekend, but a beautiful one, I tell you. I was like, thank God we survived it. We did. I said, Shebi, this Valentine is over. To the
If you
glory
can
of
survive
God.
that one, nothing you will not
Do you
survive.
understand?
Yeah, so we're talking about difficult co-workers. Difficult co-workers. And I would like to start with a question. Have you worked with a difficult co-worker before? And how were you able to handle it?
It's your question.
Like, I can't believe Solomon Sam was
This is your question. You know the problem. It's not as if he does not know the answer, but you know where to start with. Let me not finish.
a surplus.
Let me not finish, and somebody will attack me by the gate. So
No, you don't have to mention names.
do you understand? But we can relate actually.
Actually.
So see, okay, since he does not want to start, he's thinking. Let me start. I have experience. I am experiencing difficult co-workers.
So you're not out of it.
I'm not out of it, though. I'm not out of it.
I am experiencing that she just said.
Abi.
If you're not on set with us right now, you will not understand it. But we totally get. So
By the grace of God, you will not continue experiencing.
Do you understand? No, you know there's something about
Is she
people.
planning to resign?
No, I'm not planning to resign. You know
Okay.
the thing is this.
No, it's her prayer. The prayer that
That
she
will not experience
Yeah.
it. Don't worry. There's something about people. You can't change them. That's who they are.
Yeah.
So if you have people
Some.
like that, you can, because you don't. Some of them, not all of them. You see, difficult co-workers. For some of them, they just choose to be aggressive. They just choose to be rude. They just choose to be uncooperative. They just choose to be manipulative. Like generally, just want to be difficult. So, like when you talk about difficult co-workers, these are the characteristics: rude, aggressive, arrogant, like manipulative, uncooperative, generally difficult. Like those people that want to take credit, those people that gossip around, those people that complain at work about everything. So those people that don't communicate. There's an information that everybody needs to work with, but they will not communicate it. There's a mail that has been sent, a message that has been sent that has to do with work and productivity, but they don't respond to it. All these are characteristics of difficult co-workers. But can you change it? When you say I will stop experiencing, is when I stop working with people. Because even in your own company, your own organization, I tell you, there are a lot of CEOs that are dealing with like difficult because the person is also working as the CEO in that organization. It means the person you're working with is your co-worker. So you have to deal with that. Except if you decide you want to be an island, which is almost impossible. So I've had a lot of CEOs, colleagues complain about their fellow colleagues and all of that, and it looks like there's definitely going to be and I used to think that this thing can just be it can actually be minimized and all of that, but to think that it can go extinct, no, that's just an imagination. As far as you live, you work with people, you definitely experience people with these characteristics. Why? Because we were not born and brought up in the same home, in the same environment. See, it can really be frustrating and exhausting, and I'm saying it from the point of experience. It can be frustrating and exhausting to work with people that are really difficult. When you talk about a co-worker, it's somebody you work together with, and then imagine there's a tax ahead. I always talk about the fact that the whole people you have in an organization or in a company or in a business place, they are a team. And there's actually a reason why all of you are there. If there's no need for that, your co-worker, the person will not be there. If you can do the work alone, there's no need of employing everybody. But you see, there's need for everyone to be there. That's why everybody is being employed. But that you have a task to actually perform, and then one person is just making it difficult because of their character, or one person is trying to frustrate effort because of their character, because of their attitude, is something that is really exhausting. But one thing is key: you cannot bring yourself low to their level. You must learn this, because a lot of people will be like, I will change it. If anybody try me, I'll change it for them. But you can't engage in all of those drama, because you are coming from a place that is like you have a name, you are coming from a home, from an environment that is really respected. So you don't want to engage yourself in all of those drama. People that are difficult co-workers, what they actually want is your reaction. So imagine you're always giving it to them, or the person just wakes up from sleep and say, today when I get to work, by the time they say we should do this thing, I will not do it, or I will do it my own way. By the time this our head of department or head of unit or our Oga says that we should do this, I will not do it that way, or I have my own way of doing it. That's a difficult co-worker. When there's a lineup of activities, and I said that 8 o'clock you guys are going to be leaving for maybe a trip or something, I say, nobody can make me wake up by 8. It's 10 hours to wake up. And then you frustrate that journey. You're a difficult co-worker. So, like I said, it's exhausting. But we must learn to handle it professionally. That way you can maintain your peace and your cool. You don't need to allow people to drag you into their mess. Some people have nothing to lose, and that's why they are being really difficult. You are thinking of a difficult co-worker. Think about a colleague that maybe is thinking, I'm affiliated to the powers that be. You just think about it. What can you do? You hear people making statements like, what can you do? If you're thinking of this, I have this person, so dear. If you're thinking, I have relationship with this person, so what can you do? And in the true essence of the word, there's actually a relationship and there's nothing you can do about it. Or the organization or the CEO is not even doing anything about it. So imagine you have a colleague like that. It's really going to be frustrating and exhausting as far as you choose to remain in that place. But like I said, what is key for me is handling the whole thing professionally. I'm sure when we continue the conversation, we'll dig deeper on how to manage people like that. But for me, I've experienced them, and I'm experiencing difficult co-workers. But I've chose to maintain my cool. I chose to handle the whole thing professionally for my peace of mind. Like I said, I used to think that certain things can be controlled. Like people's behaviors, people's reaction. I always talk about the fact that we are all matured, we are all adults, so we should do what is expected of us. We all have responsibility. We don't need people to come and tell us, somebody to say, you need to do this thing this way, or you don't need anybody to come and flog you as an adult. We don't have to be seeing white papers flying like queries and all of. Since we are all adults, we understand our responsibility. Everybody should just do it. That's what I used to think. But I've come to realize, working with people, that some people you cannot control them or how they behave. Like, people behave the way they want to, especially when they have an environment that actually enables their bad character. Like, they really live up to it. So imagine you not having, you cannot do anything about it. But the what is key for me is that don't entangle yourself in their mess. Don't entangle yourself in their drama. Maintain your cool and handle it professionally. There are certain interaction, like for me, based on my experience, what I do, I maintain the interaction professionally and let it be about work. Because there are certain people that when it cross work relationship, it's like you dragging yourself into their mess. At the end of the day, you see yourself being entangled in a lot of drama. So if need be, and this has helped me in working with difficult co-workers, I try to make it direct while being respectful, and I try to also make it about work and let the conversation interaction just be like professional. Like Engineer Tony will always say, the workplace is not a place for friendship, but I believe you can find friendship at the workplace. So if it is what the relationship is, what like making friendship from it, fine and good, but the friendship does not have to be within the workplace. But if it is not what it, keep it professional and maintain your cool.
Great.
Okay, so I want to let Solomon, because you know the way he breathed in and out earlier on. I want him to be the last person to talk about this. So let me come
really
in
deep.
From the theological point of view.
Yes. So let me just give my small experience, my tiny experience before we talk about seniors. So I'm not being a difficult co-worker.
No.
Okay. All right. So from my experience, I think that you find difficult co-workers in a very wide sphere. I engage in youth ministry, and I'm still working here, and so you will know that from different sides of life, from different angles that I'm coming from, I have experienced my own fair share of difficult co-workers. The people that feel entitled to certain things, the people that are feeling I just have to get on this person's toes, and also the people that have the whole I know it all feeling. Oh, they can be very tough to work with. And so you can imagine preparing for youth program and this person just keeps telling you that no, you are all doing it all wrong. That's not how you're supposed to do. It's like every other person does not have any input to come in. Only you. Only him. And you also find that kind of people everywhere. Wherever. So that's another aspect of difficult co-workers. You find them everywhere in different faces and in different cadre and categories. And so when approaching those kind of people, I know someone would think that I'm just being a carefree person, but well, sometimes the carefreeness is what keeps me going. Sometimes I just don't dignify them with response.
True.
I just find myself laughing off what they're doing because, like, are you being serious right now? And sometimes that's the reaction I get. I'm like, if you are serious about things, you would understand that at this moment you are just being difficult and intentionally not refusing to understand what is going on. And you would find that other people are in the same page with you, but this person just decides that all of you that are on the same page, you're just fools. You don't know what you're doing. And I'm the only one who knows. I'm the only person that is on the right. In fact, some of them will go an extra mile and tell you, even if I'm wrong, it doesn't concern you. And there's nothing you can do about the fact. It's my wrong. Yeah, so treating those kind of people sometimes is just better off, like she mentioned earlier on, treat them professionally, that there is that boundary. If there's any information they need to receive from you, you make sure that you pass that information along. If there's anything that they need to tell you, even if they are being rude about it, you listen to what they have to say and walk your way and use the information you get to work. The one that they did not bring to you, if you are questioned about it, you just say, I really did not receive it. And things like that, and just wash off your hands of those kind of people. Because if you keep dwelling on it, that in itself will affect your own productivity. It will affect your growth in the organization, wherever that you're working, whether it's a business or what. I've seen how business owners and business handlers can be very uncooperative, and you're wondering, like, are you actually doing a business or not? We're supposed to work on this business together, and there's just you being aloof. So you just know that this is my limit with this person. This is where I stop my conversation or interaction with this person, and it would be easier for you to navigate your way if you look at things that way. Not everything deserves a response. You don't have to dignify certain things with a response, because the moment you give that response, it becomes a bigger issue. So that's my small input.
So let's wait
Let's
for,
look
the
for the boss.
big input.
Yes.
Senior colleague.
Please, people that are watching, you see how this my colleague are trying to make this.
No. We're only trying to make it easy for you.
Okay.
Like based on your long time.
Honor is given
experience.
to whom honor
Honor
is
is
due.
Thank you very much.
The last man standing is the way Joyce put it. You know, once Joyce come like this, you know there is something
issue.
after that is. I'm telling you. I think
It's
she's
also
just
a way of handling difficult co-workers now. Maintain your. See, I used to tell if I open my mouth, So nobody. The thing about difficult co-workers is that they always think they have the monopoly of the violence, of the bad mouth, of the arrogance, of the rudeness. They don't know that everybody. Some of us is the love of God that constrain. His blows will have been exchanging, but you see, we have accepted our Lord and personal Savior. And
So
all things are passed away. Behold, everything has become new.
Hallelujah.
Amen. So if
Somebody was hissing around the side.
Around this side.
they will
I know.
That
She
is
will
why I
use me to
said
ad-
that I'm
She
still
will use me.
experiencing.
She will use me to
difficult
address
co-workers.
some certain
I
issues.
understand. That's why I said I'm still experiencing and working with difficult co-workers. That's why you're hearing some hiss. You understand? But the thing is that, like I said earlier, the love of God. Because I remember one experience, Apostle Solomon, I left the office and like, let me go and change it for this person.
On your way.
I just said, Kai, no, this cannot be you. And I reversed quietly. And I went back and I sat down. I said, no, you cannot even dignify this person, because like I said earlier on, people that are difficult co-workers, they really like your reaction.
Yes, that's what they are
like
looking
it.
for.
So I was like, Kai, no, you cannot dignify this. And I went back and I sat down. And that silence alone
Angers them.
Spoke a lot.
My sister.
You see, difficult people you will always meet.
Sure.
But today we are talking difficult people
at work.
You see, let me say this, but it's sweeter in Hausa. He said, in ka san halin mutum sai ka sha maganin zama da shi.
True.
I think maybe Prudence can do justice to it.
Okay, I'll give an attempt. So if you know a person's habits, then you take the medicine to interacting with that person.
So where do you buy the medicine?
So basically, it's just you will have an inking or a know-how of how to treat the person.
I remember my
That
mom
is
used
it.
to say this, Kokai Shetani. Like, even if you're the devil, like, she will stay with you. In essence, is this, like, if you want to make life difficult, because it's witchcraft now. Like, you're uncooperative, you're just being difficult. Like, this is what we need to do, and the whole team agreed, and you're saying no. Like, or
It
you
has
are
to be your
imposing
own
your
way.
own decision on people. That's so. She said, because I already know by virtue of staying with you, by virtue of staying with your type, by virtue of working with your kind, I know how to deal with people like that. Not like I'll always be fighting you. But you see that thing that you're looking for, that reaction, you will not get it. I would not dignify that. So I never understood that statement. Like I've always had her talk about her experience with people, work, and she'll mention Koke Shetani. Like as a child, it's just in passing. But when I started working, I understood that better. Because those people, you will always have them.
Yeah. So now you see, now we're talking about knowledge and we're talking about wisdom. First of all, gather the knowledge. Study the person. When you study the person very well, right? Then you apply wisdom. In part of the wisdom that you are applying, if it's work, then like what she said, professionalism. Be professional. That's wisdom. Just be professional with the person. Because, like she said, not all. Some, you can change them. But the virtue of understanding how life is. Because some people are just kids. They are not exposed. They are not experienced. So, they think life revolves around them. And if you just look at some people, it's just an extension of character. Either from home to school, from school to office. Then from office or to church. It's just a progression. They just move, and they move with it because it's in them. It's their character. So anywhere you find them, they are just difficult. Not only at work. So if you ask some people their experience, they will tell you, "Go at church, ma haka yake. Ko haka take." Somebody complaining about work, this is how the person is behaving. They will tell you, just to shut you up. They will tell you, why are you even complaining? Even in church, that's how she behaves or he behaves. So what would you say again?
Even at home.
Even at home, you understand? So if you look at it, it calls for someone to be deliberate. And you see, the reason why we do certain things inform our actions. Why are you even doing what you are doing? Let's start with the work first. Why? Are you keen with the vision and mission of that organization? If it's yes, then why are you difficult in making things work? Then in the other way, then the answer is no. It's as simple as that. Because if you make things difficult in the office, not making things to work, because it's a teamwork. As long as you are in an organization, you are working from different cubicle, the goal is one, to achieve result. Then why are you a hindrance? And you know, some people, they just feel like they just want that attention. They want everything to revolve around them. They take glory of what they don't even know.
Difficult co-worker. That's what earlier I said. They are credit taker.
Yes.
So even if they are absent, they ensure that things don't work.
Well,
Because by the time things work, you will tell that,
even without this,
do you understand?
without,
So they are credit taker. Those kind of people, you know, we always have them around at workplace. When something is done, they want the whole light to be beamed on them. Like, so when the conversation about how did you get this done, they will not allow anybody to talk. And that is why they will also suppress your own idea or your own point of view. People like that want to have the final say. These people are difficult. Like, imagine you're a team and everybody is supposed to be contributing his own point of view. And then this person is like, okay, yours, well, after talking, yours are all useless. I'm the one that have. And then you must, even when voting is taking place, this person will not agree on that.
Yes.
Because he or she wants to impose their own. Like, there's a room for I think, advice or suggestion. But to impose that, you being really difficult. I mean, it's not a good place to be. And that's why I said earlier that it's really frustrating and exhausting.
Yes.
Imagine that you come with all, like, ready to give in your best. And then what you need to give your best is not available. Earlier on, I was mentioning communication, non-communication. Like, you work and then your immediate boss supposed to give you an instruction or an information as regards something that you need to do, and then this person does not pass the information. it impacts on productivity and even team morale.
Of
People
course.
don't know. And that's why I said, if you work in an environment that these things are not addressed, it's really going to be detrimental.
But why will somebody even just wake up and decide to be difficult at work?
I really
what
don't
is
get
so
it.
wrong with things happening well, going on smoothly, going on positively, productivity, teamwork, and all of that? Like, it's
Okay.
for the good of the organization. But I wake up from my home, dress up, and the whole time I am thinking of being a difficult person. Like, what do I stand to gain? Am I going to be chosen as the president of the organization, or what exactly?
There are reasons, Jemima. There are actually
Very-
reasons. You know,
very-
like I said, some people are credit takers. So if it is not them,
Then things must not work.
it will not work.
You
So
know,
you frustrate
and what
everybody.
if it is them? Things will not work.
And
and
if
you
it's
know,
them, they will do everything that they are supposed to. But
The
if it
reason
is
why
not
they
them-
frustrate
you know, you're
the
saying
next
that
co-worker
some of them
is
would
that
even do what they need to do, right?
Yeah.
They don't all do it, and especially if it is on a voluntary basis. And that's one thing that I really can't wrap my head around. You volunteered to do something, but you are being difficult about doing the work. Exactly.
So what
How?
was your own definition
No
of
volunteering.
you even apply, I want to be a volunteer.
Honestly, and you will really apply and say,
And you now say,
I agree
please
with
don't-
everything.
Nobody
they
said
said we
stress
should
me. After all, you are not paying me. But when you came and applied,
What were you expecting?
I don't get it, but I think that some of the reasons is because you had you had a perception of how the work is supposed to look, and then you get there, and the pampering that you were expecting is not what you're receiving. The things that you were thinking that you would get if you get there without doing anything much, you're not getting it. See, for instance, you're not bringing in your own share of the work, and then people are beginning to ask you questions. Why the question why, right? It always comes up at work if things are not working well, and you don't want to answer that, so you become difficult.
some people like that leadership
I-
role.
Yeah.
So
and I-
if they are not in any way appointed to lead as member, they will be uncooperative.
I will
Because-
make it ungovernable.
Yes,
for you.
they want to lead. So if they are not leading, you will never get their best. So some people, I think the lack of the being difficult is born out of envy. Like,
They want all the attention.
this person that is being made to head, who is this person to head me or to instruct me? So the person will never cooperate because he wants to be in that position, or is envious of the person that is in that position. And for some, it is born out of their upbringing, lack of discipline. Like I said, one of it is arrogance and being pompous or whatsoever, aggressive. It's from where they are coming from. And that is why when you're handling those people, you need to maintain your cool. Understand where is this behavior coming from. Because some of them is from where they are coming. Like, they grew up in an environment that's normal, that's obtainable. You talk back at people, they talk back at their parents, somebody that gave birth to you, but they can talk back to them at them. So who are you at the workplace that they will not do it, that they will not be rude to? Imagine that your superior is talking to you, or your boss is talking and you're walking and answering the person, or you're passing information and you're walking. It speaks to arrogance. It speaks to you being aggressive and all of that. So for some people, I think is born out of their environment, like certain traumas apparently that affected them, and that is why I remember that I told you this. There was a colleague that I think I was almost irritated by the behaviors, and I was like, oh, I had to give excuse for that person because like I think based on where this person is coming from, or based on my own understanding of who this person is, I think the environment has an impact on the person. I decided to make excuse for the person, and I feel okay, this person is just lack of exposure, and then this person does not even understand what is obtainable. But I believe with time, like this person will come to. So there are really different reasons as regards, and it can be relative. We cannot just outline that, okay, this is actually the reason. But for some, they are just being manipulated manipulative. They just want to be manipulative. Let it be about them, and that is all. And for some, is where they are coming from. And for some, is born out of envy and jealousy. Like, if it is not about me, then it should not work. You know, there are people like that at work. Since I'm not part of this thing, it will never work. Or you've not heard about a co-worker that went to disconnect a wire or a connection while a major event was going on. And then this person, they were still setting up. It was like in an hour time the event will start. And this person went to do that disconnection and left with a cable. And like just left the whole environment. Why? Because he or she is not part of the committee or part of the people that were saddled with that responsibility. Okay, you people are doing this without me.
We'll see how it will
So
work.
when they finished setup and they were sitting down waiting for the time, because like we've done everything, this person went and disconnected and carried the cable and left with it. And when they're about to start, they were trying, sound was not coming up, these things were not coming up. So they still checking, and they now, like, this person disconnected in a way that you will know that it was disconnected and I left with it. So for some people, if it's not about them, if they are not at the forefront, even as members, they will be grudgingly doing the thing. They want to head. Everything should be about them. So if it is not about them, you experience that difficulty.
You see, so many years ago, I was in a church and we were in the singing group, the band. There was this guy, he sings so well. Like, he has
this is another topic.
He has whatever he needs to have with the singing, the timing, the tempo, the voice, and
The
everything.
charisma.
Yes, the charisma. Thank you. But you see, if he's not the one leading, forget it. If he's not the one in the front with the mic and others are behind backing him up, forget it. The day you don't give him to lead, he's always roaming around the church, hands in his pockets, checking here, buying bottle of water, checking his car, coming out, roaming around, talking with some key persons in the church. That is all he does. He would never, and I repeat, never back you up. Who are you? Like, he has to be the one in the forefront. And just like you said, that is all he knows. All he knows is about leading. All he knows is not to be behind. No, he is the star, and he has to be that star that will never die. So, like, and it makes me
never die.
I'm telling you.
And it makes me want to ask. I know you all mentioned about you have to think. You don't have to give the person what he's expecting you, because the whole idea of punching you and all of that is for you to react. So you don't give that. So what is the place of emotional intelligence in handling difficult co-workers? Because there are people that the moment you just start raising your eyebrow, they have removed her tie and tie. They are ready for fight, and that is what this difficult co-worker is expecting. So what is the place of emotional intelligence in handling difficult co-workers? I know we've spoken about emotional intelligence on this set before. So what role does it play when you are dealing with this kind of people?
Let me give this illustration. Well, true events that happened. So this man had this lady working for him, and she was really, frustrating work. First of all, she's the accountant, and she would not sign these documents because it would not favor her. When they need her to balance the sheets, so long as it is not favoring her, she's missing. She comes to the office the time she chooses to come and goes out the time she chooses to go. So it was a very
CEO.
It was a very frustrating time and period.
Macro manager.
I'm telling you.
It got to a point that her case had to be taken to the organization's board, because he thought if he comes outrightly, this is where emotional intelligence come into play, right? If you go outrightly and dismiss this kind of person and there are no questions and all that is not documented, automatically the person goes out and says, that's a terrible organization. Right? They, because that's the next reaction. They would not see what they're doing wrong. They only just see what the organization did to them that is wrong. And so he took that to the board, or rather the other co-workers took it to the board, and they had discussions, and the board said, okay, so this is what you do. Make sure you keep giving her the queries. Even if she's not responding to the queries, just be keeping it in her file. and all that. And so it was there. By the time they kept on saying, let's watch her, let's see how she would change and how. And at the end of the day, she herself, when she was not getting the reactions she was getting, she signed in her resignation letter. And so you see emotional intelligence playing here. Sometimes there are times that you need to just step back and watch where this person is headed at, and sometimes the things sort themselves out. I think Engineer Tony is the one who said that there are certain issues that you don't even need to struggle to sort them, because they would sort them their own selves in their own time. Joyce has mentioned a number of times where a colleague had to resign because she felt like another colleague was frustrating her effort. Unknown to her, the colleague in question was going to leave the organization the next year. And so, honestly,
they just left the same time.
Oh Lord!
Yes.
And she can't go
The
back.
only reason why she left was because of that person.
And that person is leaving.
And
as
that person
well.
was also like working towards another job somewhere else. And then it just happened. Like, emotional intelligence is very important in handling. In fact, if you don't want to be dragged into the difficult workers as in whole mess and all of that, you need to apply emotional intelligence. Like, sometimes we talk about not dignifying what they do. That's what they are looking for you to react, to dignify. See, silence is a dangerous thing. People joke with that. Recently, there were a lot of social media clash dragging here and there, and a lawyer came out to say that if somebody ignores you the way this person ignores you, you're finished. Because imagine always coming up online, insulting somebody, dragging, do this, calling people to help you drag and do this, and then this person is not even responding. Like, the person is always online, but does not even do like there's anybody that is existing. It's also emotional intelligence. I remember that I was in a situation that I had to just choose between emotional intelligence or just coming out physical or just being even abusive self. I was like, I told myself, I was in that place, but I'm no longer there. I can call and insult this person, not to happen. Can she beat me? I can send message. I can, because based on all my experience with this person, I mean, I was working with you, and then I didn't have any issue with you, though you tried to be difficult at some point for some personal reasons and all, which I know, but still I maintained. I chose professionalism in all of it, because I mean, it's work. I just come, stick to my responsibility. I'm done, and I go. But that was really painful or hurtful to this person, because the person has been doing everything to ensure that I react, but I don't. I'm aware that all these things that you're doing, like, so I just try to come do my work and I go. And eventually I had cause to just excuse myself from the work, not because of the person, but I needed to do certain things. And then immediately I left, somebody called me and said, this person said this about you, this person said that about you, and I felt really disappointed. I mean, this is somebody I respect, even though I know that you have been trying to be difficult and all, but I still maintained and respected myself till the end, like till I left. And then, so why will I go? I'd never reacted to you. And so you had to gather people and sit them down and start saying, this person is this, person is that. So I was like, wait, I was so pissed off. I could not wait for morning. I was even angry that I was not in the town. Because, like, I would have just gone and confronted that person. And then I was like, I need to call this person and put this person in perspective. Like, you've been misbehaving for a long time. And I've been like, after all, I'm not there. You want to sack me, but I'm not there now. So, but I thought about the whole thing. This is not who you are. Like, I think we need to always remind ourselves of who we are and where we are actually coming from. And then the result of what your action, when you think about the end result, also I think it's going to help you not to engage in opt for certain things. And so I decided, okay, I think I'll be in the town by the following week. So why not call this person, and when I'm around, and by the time I got to the town, I just chatted this person. Hi, how are you doing? The person said, I'm fine. I'm doing fine. And how is work and everything? Fine. And I said, I would really like to see you. There's something I want to discuss with you. And the person said, oh, fine. So where? I say, you choose location. So I will not pick location. I think I want to beat you. So I told the person, you pick location. This person now picked, because of course you've been doing things I have not been responding. So you might be scared that this person wants to. And this person picked a location. And I said, time. And like, this person was there even before me. So I got there and I said, we greeted and all. And I left. I know that a lot of things were just going wrong, your attitude, your reaction. Like, I've noticed them, but I didn't have any cause to fight or to do anything. I said to respect myself and all. But why would you go to this extent of gathering people to say things that are not true about me? And then this person said, I didn't say it. Who told you this? I said, I'm not here to call names. If there's any, see, there are certain, that for me to start mentioning, it's better I'm not even here in the first place. I'm not here to mention names. I'm here to tell you that these are the things that I heard you said and to this and this person. And this person said, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. And I said, that's fine. But you said you didn't do it. I was not there. But then these were the ones that you did in my presence. Why? Why were you like? And this person started explaining, and she got teary and all. And we talked about it. That's also emotional intelligence. You can talk about it. When not confronting to fight. No. But I've noticed this pattern of behavior. Are you okay? Maybe sometimes the person even needs help. It might be mental issues. Like, so are you really normal? How can in a workplace people are trying to make things work and your own is to frustrate the thing?
Difficult.
Are you really normal? So sometimes as you talk with the person, you will understand. For some people, especially people that are heading, is born out of stress.
Yes.
Sometimes the arrogance that you think, the aggression is born out of stress, especially if you work in a place that you are not the CEO, like you're not the owner of the place. So you are also answerable to other persons. While you are looking at your immediate head of department, your head of department is answerable to the another head of or the board or trustees. Or so sometimes it's also good for you to understand where this behavior is coming from. So at the end of it, you might discover that it's born out of stress. At the end of the day, you might find out that this thing that you are looking at as arrogance or rudeness,
being difficult.
You might find that at the end of the day, and you find yourself being the one rooting for this particular person. So it's just important that we apply emotional intelligence. Imagine that I just went ahead and started fighting this person, or I just like one of my colleagues would say, today I'll block this person, I'll beat this person up. So rather than beating the person up or fighting the person, if you are able to talk with the person, understand the points where the person is actually coming from, it's born out of frustration, it's also born out of stress. You will also be able to help the person. So sometimes we cannot just rule out that it's just this person being bad or being a terrible person. For some, that's their nature. Uncooperative, manipulative, arrogant, and then generally being difficult. It is their nature.
Envious.
It is their nature. But for some people, it is born out of frustration and even stress. Imagine that as a head of a department, the organization makes you to pay for any damage in your unit or in your department without your co-workers knowing about it. Like, they write you straight and say you have to pay for this, that is this.
You see, I agree with the point. Perfect. You break it to the smaller particle that anybody listening there, at least he can grab something. But you see, difficult people, right? I target this way. They are consistent in what they are doing.
Yeah, that's one thing.
So when you talk about stress, when someone is stressed, you will know. It's not you are the one that would be worried on his behalf. Like, no, I think something is wrong with Jemima. That's emotional intelligence. That's not who she is. You understand? That means I've studied you that much that I said, then that's when, like she said, now talking about it. Jemima, what's wrong? I just noticed this few days, this, and then you are like, my brother, just leave me. This is it. I said, I noticed this and this and this and this, and I think it's affecting you. That's not who you are. At least I have noticed something. But you see, difficult people that you can confidently tag difficult people, they are consistent in what they are doing.
True.
Stress or no stress?
Stress or no stress, they are just consistent in what they are doing.
What if they are always facing stress in their life?
And then you see them, people like that, they don't take responsibility. They don't. They don't own up to
someone is always
responsibility.
wrong and nothing is
Someone is always wrong, and they will always complain, even when they are wrong. You are the reason why they are wrong.
yes.
They can never take responsibility whatsoever in their life. So you see, coming back to the word of God, you see, people think that this devil is just someone ugly that you see with horn, looking.
Embedded in some of your difficult co-workers.
Do you understand? Those horns. I just wish that devil, that's how he looks, like literally. I don't think people will sin, because once I see that horn, I will run.
Already scary.
It's scary. So you won't engage him in conversation that he will make you to do something. He always paint it beautiful, make you think that is something worth trying. So some people engage in serving the devil diligently without even their consent, without even them knowing. Yes, because how can you on earth, like, choose, like the question you ask, just make life miserable for others, God creation for that matter?
Every day you're giving letters. Is that the sum total of who you are? Honestly, I had cause to ask this question, because why are you making work difficult for people? Like, at one point that I was working, like, every day as you're going to the office, you're wondering what will happen next. What is it again? Because it's either you're going, a paper is waiting for you, or later you'll be called to 1-1, and people be asked questions, or like they are settling something, or you hear of a recording, or you hear of different things, and then like, can't we just go and walk and just make meaning out of life? Like, why is this our sum total? Like, imagine that out of the many challenges that you have that can just make work easy, the one you're choosing to focus on. Imagine that, for example, welfare of staff, you don't improve. You have an organization, you don't pay salary, you're owing staff for 5 months. Arrears, so everything you are owing them. And then, but 5 minutes later, noise later, like they're in secondary school. Noise later. And we checked you 2 minutes, you were not on your seat. Later. Like, so just imagine that. Is that the sum total of who you are? Is that where your concentration and your focus should be? Like, I had cause to tell a colleague one point that, can you not redirect your thinking to improving? Because by the time you improve, you focus on improving the welfare of staff. And that's what some CEOs are the reason why the staff are difficult.
Of course.
Because imagine I work for you for 5 months and you did not pay. And you think that person, some of them, they will not leave the work.
Everything should work.
Some of them will not leave. You think they will leave so that you employ new ones? They will not, but they will make work difficult for you.
Because they learned the hard way.
Do you understand? So it's also important that as a CEO, don't be wicked. We know you own the organization, or you are the one heading the organization. Can you improve the welfare of these people? Imagine somebody coming how many kilometers to work.
Show
and
empathy.
Yet no empathy. Like, things that are due for these people, you don't give them. And then you also expect the best out of this person. You are being a difficult CEO. So these things is a two-way thing. In as much as we know that your colleagues, well, as a CEO, they are your colleagues too, because you are a CEO in that organization, so they are also your colleagues. Let's just learn to make work environment like workable and make it conducive. And you, as a worker in an organization where there are difficult people, just know that these things are inevitable. As an individual, it's inevitable. I know that there are people that had cause to resign from their jobs because of difficult colleagues.
Because of their mental health.
Yes. Somebody said, for my mental health, I need to leave. I need to leave. It's not as if I cannot address this person, but I do get about it. Like I had that. So, but I'm going for my peace of mind and for my mental health. People will not come and hear in news that I killed somebody. So it's better I just go for my sanity. So there are people that had to say all of that. And I remember a time I wanted to take a decision also because of difficult co-worker. I think I had to tell the boss that, see, I'm not doing this again. No. If I work in this environment and the totality of this organization is letter and this person did this person, like, is impacting on me negatively, because every day I come and wanting to do more, giving my best, but it's either the time that I'm supposed to be researching, working, then I'll be called to ask things that are trivial, things that have nothing to do with work. Did you hear that this person said these people are in relationship? I don't understand. Did you hear that this person is sleeping with this person? How does it relate to the work I'm doing? So, or you will put in your best, but because somebody's there angry, envious that this person is really taking the front seat, and then this person will just sit down and cook story. That this person did this. Imagine that in a meeting you're discussing that somebody eyed somebody. Did the eye bite you? Or like somebody eyed somebody?
What evidence?
That's a distraction.
You snap there.
Or you sit down and say that this person did cook up a story. I had to take a decision at that point. I said, I'm not working here again. I can't
You're
work
practically
in this.
deviating.
Do you
from
understand?
the main
And when I made
rules.
that decision, this was the statement that kept me. Who told you that where you are headed, like, you won't
Wouldn't
find
meet people
people
like
like
that.
that?
Even worse.
So I came to the point of understanding that these behaviors are inevitable. So if you're yet to start working or you're working, just know that those difficult people, they are
You would see them.
inevitable. Why? Because you were not born and brought up together. Your experiences of life are different. So you always see them. But what do you need to do? Stay calm. Be professional. Don't get yourself entangled in their drama. Like, if you need to talk with them professionally. Let not come from a place of malice, but it should come from a place of addressing it for your own good. If you need to speak, if you have an environment where policies work, laws work, you can talk to the HR, you can talk to the head of the department. Like, where you have,
Use the books.
do you understand? In a workplace that they use the book, actually. In a workplace that they uphold their policies and their laws, you can talk to the HR and you will address it. But if you find yourself, because you would these things are also inevitable. You can find yourself working in an environment that they have laws, but they don't adhere to it. They have books, but nobody follows the books and nobody's questioning it. That's why earlier on I say, you're saying working with co-worker is difficult and exhausting. Have you had an instance where you're working with a co-worker that has relationship with your boss or has relationship with the powers that be? It's not because
Landlady.
books will not work in that policies will not work, laws will not work, because that's what is giving
that will play.
and that's why some of them, the arrogance, the aggression
comes
is
from-
born out of that. So how do you manage yourself? Focus on your responsibility. Don't dignify. Just focus on it, and then keep your communication professional.
And you also need to know that, like you said, they will always be there. Even if you leave this workplace and go to another one, you find more there. So you have to decide that whatever anybody does, I would remain and I would do what I am expected to do. By so doing, you're pouring water on whatever coals of fire they have meant for you, and at the end of the day you still do what you're expected to do. If every other person is deviating from their main purpose, you know why you're there. You have your job description written. Do that and let every other person be.
Yeah, it is very important that you stay focused, right? I had cause one time to question whether I wanted to continue working where I was at or engaging in what I was doing, and I sat down. I was talking that day with my mom. I said, I think I'm leaving. And she said, why? What is your reason? And I told her, this person is difficult, that person is difficult. And she said, oh, well, are you working for them? Are you?
Question.
And so I sat back and I looked at it. Well, I'm not working for them. I'm not doing what I'm doing for them. It is for me. And I need to do it because it is for me. And so that in itself put it in perspective, and I continued. And she just said that certain people, you just have to work with them at arm's length. Do what you need to do on your table so that they would not find fault from you. And so putting that into perspective, I came back to work, and work became easier for me because there's no
You're being
baggage I'm
professional.
struggling with. I'm not struggling with anybody's baggage in my head anymore. I've let it go. So that's one thing that you need to look at when you're working in an environment that the co-workers are very
Difficult.
terrible.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah. Okay.
You see
quickly,
what
okay.
he said, what Joy said, and she mentioned a lot of things. You find that certain people, as someone that is at the helm of affairs in your organization, it is key that you notice and you observe. Sometimes queries, if it is not really important, don't send it. It can be destabilizing. It can affect the person's productivity. If it is not necessary, please reduce it. That in itself is just demoralizing. It's very important that you are, we mentioned emotional intelligence. Even asking questions within the organization needs emotional intelligence. You need to understand your terrain before you send certain questions, because certain questions will just put the person off work. I've seen someone who had cause, like, she literally came into the office even after she sent messages that there was a bridge in communication and it did not reach the boss. She came to the office and she was asked a question, she was given query. On top of that, she was shouted at and everything. By the end of all those interactions, she did not, that whole day, she did not do anything serious because she had already been demoralized. So you also have to look at that terrain. You need to understand that when you're asking questions as well. If not, you'd end up being a difficult co-worker rather than aiding work.
If you are a difficult co-worker, just know that there's second chance. You can fix it. You can amend it.
Yes.
Right? Just look for help. Look for help. And just know that if truly you know that you are difficult and you feel that's the path you choose, you are working for the devil. That's just it. That's just it. But there's a second chance for you to come and make amend with Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ came to make life easy for everybody. You should know that. And then if you are a good person that knows what to do and you are doing and people are frustrated, keep striving. Keep being patient. Keep being persistent. Keep enduring and keep doing that which is good regardless, because there's a price for it at the end.
And you need to know also that as you're setting your own goal, another person elsewhere is setting his own goal and it might clash with yours. So what do you do when it clashes? So you have to help yourself. You have to set boundaries for yourself. You know who is for you and who is against you. Just like they said, everybody should be at arm's length so that you can have your own mental peace of mind. Thank you for doing
You're
this,
welcome.
Suleiman Sambo, Joyce Jakada. Thank you. Prudence Burger, thank you.
Pleasure.
I hope you are able to pick one thing or the other from our discussion that we had today. These difficult people, you find them everywhere because they indeed exist everywhere. But you can help yourself. Do not give them what they are expecting you to give them. Make sure you work on yourself to have that emotional intelligence that we spoke about, so that you know when to answer them and when not to answer them. A lot of times you just have to help yourself by yourself wherever it is you find yourself. I hope that you'll be able to apply these things to your daily activities and in your workplaces. We are grateful that you are able to join in our discussion. Until we come your way tomorrow, do have a great day. Bye.